नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Text 18, 9.18. If you have your Bhagavad Gita with you or you have it on your mobile phones, then you can make an attempt to recite behind me. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi nivasah sharanam suhrit prabhavah pralayah sthanam nidhanam bijamavyayam. Gatir, goal. Bharata, sustainer. Prabhu, Lord. Sakshi, witness. Nivasaha, abode. Sharanam, refuge. Suhrit, most intimate friend. Prabhavaha, creation. Pralayaha, dissolution. Sthanam, ground. Nidhanam, resting place. Bijam, seed. Avyayam, imperishable. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. Purport. Gati means the destination where we want to go. But the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of the strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandraloka, Suryaloka, Indraloka, Maharloka, etc. But all such lokas or planets being creations of Krishna are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. Such planets being manifestations of Krishna's energy are also Krishna. But actually they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna. To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, for that will save time and energy. For example, if there is a possibility of going to the top of a building by the help of an elevator, why should one go by the staircase, step by step? Everything is resting on Krishna's energy. Therefore, without Krishna's shelter, nothing can exist. Krishna is the supreme ruler because everything belongs to him and everything exists on his energy. Krishna, being situated in everyone's heart, is the supreme witness. The residences, countries, or planets on which we live are also Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate goal of shelter, and therefore one should take shelter of Krishna either for protection or for annihilation of his distress. And whenever we have to take protection, we should know that our protection must be a living force. Krishna is the supreme living entity, and since Krishna is the source of our generation or the Supreme Father, no one can be a better friend than Krishna. Nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनः सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं। हरे कृष्ण। So I'm very grateful to all of you for taking out time and coming here that you all have come here this Saturday evening for your regular Saturday evening satsang program where you discuss Bhagavad Gita, and you have allowed me to be in your association here, and His Grace Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu has instructed me. So I'll make an attempt to share whatever I've heard in Parampara, whatever I've heard from Srila Prabhupada and Vaishnavas, and we'll try to understand this subject. Okay, so there is some more number of men here today, especially for the program, because we are 10 of us who are traveling from Pune, and we have come here. We are making an attempt to make a temple, a new temple there in Pune. So we thought we'll come here and take the blessings of Bhuvara Swami. So today morning we were there, and tomorrow we are back to Pune. So sometimes, devotees like Radha Krishna Chandra Prabhu, when they introduce me and they speak so many things, right, about me, and I just feel embarrassed. Oh, how much time I wasted in this life. All that he talks about, all that they talk about me. After these many years, I feel like I really wasted so much of my life in so many things. This kind of introduction, can it be changed? Can it be reworked? But time has already gone past and we cannot go back. Right? All that gets spoken, our introduction many a times brings embarrassment to us. But this section of Bhagavad Gita that you are discussing, when Krishna introduces himself, wow, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this, I do this, I do that. It's so beautiful to hear. Wow, because Krishna's introduction is not fake. Many a times our introduction is either fake, right? People make up their resumes, right? They do it. They touch up their resumes in this world, right? So that I become acceptable sometimes, right? Or whatever we may have done must be a fake thing. Something, like during my days, MBA was so much in thing that time. And today nobody what MBA, big deal, what big deal, right? So our introduction and our introduction is kind of fake, because nothing is going to go with me, right? But Krishna's introduction, that's eternal, that remains. Because Krishna, what he does is perfect. So we have Tushar Vakadi Prabhu here, right? He was discussing with me today afternoon when we were at Shirangapatnam temple. There we were there at and taking darshan of Lord Mahavishnu. He was talking about being secular, and he was talking about history to be right. So, how many of you have heard of Saint Francis? You've heard of Saint Francis? Actually, his full name, his full introduction, Saint Francis of Assisi, they call him, right? And you may in Mysore also you may have a lot of many churches or schools, Saint Xavier School and Saint Francis, right? So I studied from a college. My 11th and 12th I did from a seminary where they do Bible teaching and everything. Saint Francis de Sales College, right? So this Saint Francis, especially, is known for Goa Inquisition. How many of you know this? You've heard of these words, Goa Inquisition and all. See, history is hardly taught, right? We may read these names, saints and this and that, but Saint Francis was known for killing so many Goans in Goa. So much killing, so much killing. Literally, human heads hanging from the trees. That was his history. Why? Because you don't convert. You convert to Christianity. This guy came to India. He came through the Portuguese with the Portuguese, and he came this side, and he came to Goa and Karnataka, this area, right? He was there, and he came in, and his whole idea was to convert people. But in his chronicles and his diaries and his letters that he has written back to Rome, like Vatican, he writes, these Indians are so welcoming. They can easily be converted. There are letters like that. And then there are letters, they always are ready to debate. They come, they welcome us to their villages, they welcome us to their homes, and they are ready to debate. But Saint Francis, he writes, my big problem is they agree, they debate, but they don't convert. And Saint Francis has written in his letters, they are so philosophical. Their understanding about God, they always put their scriptures in front. They'll always put, especially he says, their Bhagavad Gita. They have this scripture, their Bhagavad Gita, and they are so thorough with it, it's very difficult to convert. And he actually took permission from Vatican. There's only one way now. Send soldiers. We only have to kill them, and that fear will make them convert, right? Because Saint Francis says, oh, I'm talking about kingdom of God. That's the only thing I can tell them. There is kingdom of God where we are supposed to go. And they talk about all these verses, details about God. I also don't know many times. What all things, how philosophical are these people? So when God is introduced to us as Sanatan Dharma, as Bhagavad Gita, and as Srimad Bhagavatam, and the way Srila Prabhupada presented us, how Prabhupada went to Western countries and he made them into Vaishnavas. If you read this book, Science of Self-Realization, we call it SSR, right, in short form. There's a Christian priest who has come to meet Prabhupada, and he's saying, these young boys and girls in America, they would not even want to come to church. They would not want to do anything with religion. But what are you giving them? How have they changed? To the point, one devotee who before meeting Prabhupada was into drugs, right? American, society and those hippie days of 70s, he was into drugs and drug trafficking and everything. And after he became a devotee, a court, police caught him, and he was taken to the court, and the judge asked, what is this? You are an American. How do you look like? What is this mud on your forehead? And what are you wearing? A mattress. The dhoti was a mattress. Right? You are wearing a mattress and all. And the devotee started preaching, right? We do this, we do this, we have Bhagavad Gita and this and that. He said, wait, 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 don't talk too much, right? Tell me what is your lifestyle. And this devotee said, we wake up early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta, 4 o'clock we wake up, 4:30 we have Mangalarti, then 2 hours we chant, and then we don't eat onion garlic, no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. And the judge said, stop. What a punishment you're already undergoing. You're undergoing so much punishment already. The case is dismissed. But I'm giving example. They were amazed. How could these people, these young boys and girls become like this? Why? Because when God is presented, Srila Prabhupada would say, in a scientific way, right? Not in a sentimental way. When God is presented properly, scientifically, the way our scriptures will present, the way Sanatan Dharma will present God, then one does not get convinced by, some objects that one may get, right? One will not get convinced at some sensory level, mental level, intellectual level, but one will get convinced from heart. Yes, I accept God and I understand God properly, and my life is meant for God, right? My life is a loving offering to God. This is what Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter does when you study it properly, the way Prabhupada has given. So, how many of you have Bhagavad Gita here today with you? Actually, you should bring a Bhagavad Gita every time when you come for the class. That's a good culture to have, because we are here to discuss Bhagavad Gita, right? We should always have it with us, your personal copy. Okay, the homework for all of you. Go back and read the purport once again today and see how many times Prabhupada says Krishna. He uses the word Krishna in this purport. You'll be amazed to read how Prabhupada's purports will make you chant Krishna's name just by reading and reading. And Prabhupada presents Krishna so nicely. Right? Okay. So we go into the verse now. Krishna is saying here, so this section is again, Krishna is introducing himself. You'll find Krishna introducing himself in the 7th chapter, in the 9th chapter, in the 10th chapter, the 12th chapter. Krishna will introduce himself. He speaks some things about himself. I as God, who am I? Right? So here he's saying Gati. There is a Gati courier in India. You heard of Gati courier? Gati means speed. Gati also means goal. Like sometimes, I don't know, in Kannada, if you have the word Sadgati, it's there. Oh, I know something of Kannada that means Sadgati, right? So, what is Sadgati? What is the goal, right? So, generally people say Swargavas is one Gati, right? Some people write Kailashavas. After death, they will write Swargavasi or Kai, and Vaishnavas will say Vai, Vaikunthavasi, right? So everyone has to finalize what is my goal. We may have aims in life. While we are living in this world, we may have smaller aims. What's your goal? What do you want to achieve, right? So your goal will be set properly when you first understand what is your Swartha. Swa means myself. Artha means what is beneficial for me. What is my Swartha? Is that word there in Kannada? I know some more of Kannada. See, these words are in Sanskrit, and all languages have come from Sanskrit only. Swartha. So Prahlad Maharaj says, Nate vidu swartha gatim. He uses this word gati there in 7th canto. Nate viduhu swartha gatim hi Vishnu durashayaye bahirartha maninah, he says. Nate viduhu, वो जानते नहीं हैं, they don't know. Nate viduhu, viduhu means to know, that generally people do not know what is their swartha. Nate vidu swartha, they do not know swartha, right? Okay, swarthi. What is the equivalent word in English? Swarthi. Selfish. Srila Prabhupada says in one conversation, you cannot be selfish. You know what? The easiest thing to do in this world is to be. You don't need to teach and train to be selfish. Prabhupada says you cannot be selfish. You know what? Prabhupada says, unless you know the self, how can you be selfish? If you do not know who am I, you cannot be selfish. If you don't know self, who am I? Generally, people are thinking, I am I'm the body, I am a Kannadiga, I'm Indian, I'm Pakistani, I'm American. Prabhupada says, you are not all this. All these designations can change anytime. Unless you know what is self, you cannot be selfish. Apparently, Arjuna in the first chapter was being selfish. He was thinking, my swajana, my family, this guy will die, this person will die. It will bring pain to so many. But Krishna said, no, first, wait, let's go back to the first day of Gurukul. What did Guru teach you? The ABC of spirituality is this one line. Srila Prabhupada says, you are not this body, you are spirit, soul. Second homework for all of you. Ready? Right. So all of you have a dressing table with a mirror. You have to print a sticker after going home. And the sticker, you have to put it on the mirror. And the sticker should be, what should be written on that sticker? You are seeing what you are not. Okay? So every time you go in front of the mirror, what should you read in the sticker? You are seeing what you are. And generally, when we go in front of the mirror, what do we think? I am this body. You are not that. You are spirit, soul. You are Atma. That body is just a covering over the soul. Right? But generally, we get fooled by what the mirror shows because we don't want to see the truth. Right? Then the mirror also fakes it for us. Oh, you are this body, you're so smart, you're so beautiful, you're so nice, right? You're looking good, right? But we are not the body. So as soon as I understand I am the soul, now how will my life transform and change? Like since morning, like when we sleep in the night, we sleep the body, we put body to the rest. We wake up in the morning, right? We comb the body. I don't. I have a different hairstyle. Right? You all, those who still use a comb, you have that chance. Right? We comb the body. We clothe the body. We feed the. Since morning, what did you do for the soul which you are? Think of it. Not just day, weeks and months and years and whole life goes for the body which you are not. You are serving something alien. Why? Because you don't know Swa. You don't know who am I. When Swa is very clear, who am I? I am the soul. Then I will know what is my Swartha, and then accordingly the Gati will be fixed. Why? When Prabhupada, if you read Prabhupada purports, Prabhupada will remind us again and again. Our goal, the goal of life is to, the Gati is going back home, back to Godhead. We have to go back to Vaikuntha. How many of us are setting that goal for ourselves? I have some years living in my life, remaining in my life. I'm sorry, some years remaining. How much time am I investing, right, in buying a ticket back home, back to Godhead? Am I investing? Am I saving? Am I utilizing my time? My goal is, my Gati is to go back to Vaikuntha. Krishna is saying, I am the Gati here. So, Swartha Gatim, he Vishnu. My Swartha Gati is to serve Vishnu. My Swartha Gati is to serve Krishna. Right? Everything else that I may do is not Swartha. Right? And just because it is not Swartha does not mean it becomes selfless. It's not selflessness. Oh, I'm being selfless. I don't serve the soul, I serve the body. That's not selflessness, right? That's foolishness as per scriptures. So, Gatim, who is Gati? Krishna is the Gati. Krishna is saying. So the whole discussion that I'm doing here is, where is God presented like this? Which religion? This one word Gati, we can discuss for hours and hours. There is so much in that one word, that Krishna is the Gati. Right? What is Sadgati? Oh, this devotee went back home, back to Godhead. That is Sadgati. Right? If, you know, when I am not in this world, right? And then Radha Krishna Chandra, introduces Kanai Thakur Das. He could chant at the point of death. He was taking name of Krishna while he was dying. Wow, that kind of introduction we should look for. What will people talk about me, behind me, after me? Will they say, wow, what a way he left this world, huh? Right? So I'll give you one small story. It was Govardhan Puja festival that we were celebrating at our Pune temple. And one senior devotee, he got a phone call, right, from the BJ Medical College, Sassoon Hospital in Pune. Right? And this devotee, he saw me first and he said, come on, let's go out. And I was like, festival? He said, no festival. There is a need. We have to go out. And he told me, you know that Mataji, who comes to the temple every day, and she will issue books, and she goes to the railway station, bus station, and she distributes books. She is leaving her body. We have to go. And I said, yes, no more festival. This is what is our service now. We will go. And we went to the hospital. And when we were at the bedside of this elderly lady, she must be in her late 60s, right? We were there, no relatives around. Some neighbor, where this lady was staying alone in her apartment, some neighbors, they just put her in an ambulance, and the ambulance brought her here, right? And on her mobile phone, the last phone that was dialed was this brahmachari, right? And that's how we got the call, right? And we were thinking, how did this hospitalize? How did they come to know? They should be calling us. Her son and daughter were in America. They could not have come. So we were at the hospital, and the first thing the hospital guys told us is, take her away if you want to. The doctor said, take her away. Whoever was the resident doctor there, take her away. The case will not remain. The case will not remain. And we were like, you try something, some medicine, something. Said, no, 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 no. And the doctor went away, spoke something to the compounder, and the compounder came. It's a gag piece. So what they do is they pull the tongue ahead, and they push something here, just so that the tongue will not go behind into the throat and block the throat. So this compounder came, and I felt it was nasty. He just pulled the whole thing so fast like that. So much blood came out from her mouth. Whoa, like that. And I was like, what? What's going on? Why? But he just pulled it out and went away. And we were sitting there and chanting. The first doctor went away. The second one came. And I have been told the case will not remain. Okay. And he went away. Then we two brahmacharis are sitting there, and we decided we need to do something. We will not allow this Mataji to give up her body just like that. She cannot die like this. She has served Prabhupada. She should have good destination. Right? So we decided we are taking her away. We will take her to her home, back to the apartment. If she has to leave her body, we take her back. I went to the doctor and asked, can I take her? He said, no, you cannot take her. She has to just die here now. We are not going to give any medications now. And I told the doctor, I am taking her. He said, it's criminal. You cannot do this. I told him, don't worry. I will get the certificate. We are taking her to another hospital. Is that okay? He said, I need to speak to the doctor. It's a terminal case. It's gone case. I need to speak to the doctor who will take care of her. Said, okay. So I called one devotee doctor, explained to him what is going on here. And the devotee doctor said, aane do, mere paas aa raha hai. The case will come to me. And we put her into an ambulance, and we took her to her home. This was 3 o'clock in the morning now. And she's lying there. And I had already called few devotees from the temple, and we all were doing kirtan there. We put all photographs and everything. Suddenly around 4:30 in the morning, in the temple, they must have blown the conch shell. Pong, pong, pong. And we were remembering, oh, 4:30, Brahma Muhurta has begun. At that point, this lady opens her eyes. Like, what? What's going on? And she looks at me. There's another brahmachari, other devotees chanting kirtan for her. We pushed the photographs and she took darshan of the deities, Srila Prabhupada. And then, amazing, she smiled. Like, what? She's smiling. And then everything over. She left her body. Right? And then me and this brahmachari, 2 days later, we wrote an article. And it came in the ISKCON magazine. And the entire article was, will we get Gati like this? We were there for her. But can we even hope that I may be a brahmachari in the temple. I may be, speaking Gita every day. But will I get a fortune like this? A Gati like this, where some devotees will come around and sit around me and chant. If I don't remember Krishna at that point, will devotees help me? So one time Lakshmi ji, right? We were at Bhuvaraha temple today. One place Lakshmi ji asked Varaha Swami. She asked, your devotee, practiced, Krishna consciousness and spiritual life and chanted and served and did everything throughout life. But Lord, you have put a condition. Anta kale cha mameva. You are supposed to be remembering me at the point of death, right? It's a tough exam. It's a tough surprise exam. We don't know how will it come, when will it come, that death will come. So Lakshmi ji was in tension. How will your devotee pass the exam? At the point of death, the devotee is supposed to be thinking of you. Lakshmi ji's question was, if your devotee meets with an accident in a situation, right, where the devotee will not be able to remember you, what will happen to your devotee? Good question to ask. Whole life very nicely practiced, but exam is at the point of death. Antakale chamameva smaran mugdhva kalevaram yah prayati samad bhavam yati nasti atra samshaya. Krishna is saying in the Gita, at the point of death, if you think of me, if you remember me, you will come back to me. There is no doubt about it. So Lakshmi ji's question is, accident ho gaya, kuch ho gaya, some circumstances are not there. Devotee has been sincere. What is the Gati? What will happen to your devotee? And Lord Varaha Swami says, oh, at that point where my devotee cannot remember me, I will remember my devotee. If the devotee cannot remember Krishna, the Lord is saying, I will remember my devotee. And to add to the statement, Lord Varaha Swami says, if I cannot remember my devotee, sincere devotee, at his point of death, then I will consider myself the most ungrateful person in the creation. The Lord is telling Lakshmi ji, I would be the most ungrateful person because my devotee who has been since. So a devotee should not think, oh, Gati, will I get it? You remain sincere in your practice. Keep your goal in sight. I have to go back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada said, just chant Hare Krishna and follow 4 regulative principles. Humbly serve devotees. Prabhupada said, I will take you back in one life, which is very, very difficult and impossible in one life. Prabhupada is guaranteeing, I will take you. We keep the goal in sight. We remain sincere. And Krishna is saying, I would be ungrateful if I don't remember my devotee at my devotee's point of, leaving the body. So we have completed one word from the verse till now. I'm stopping myself. Okay. So Gati is done. Shall we go ahead? Okay. Gati next is Bharta. Right? Bharta does not mean Bangan ka Bharta. Please don't take the meaning like that. That's why Prabhupada has given word by word translation. We may commit mistake. Krishna is Bangan ka Bharta. Why is Krishna Bharta? No. Bharta here means sustainer. How many of you have heard the verse which Lord Chaitanya would so often repeat? Gopir Bhartur Pad Kamalayor, Das Das, Dasanu Das, Gopir Bharata, one who is the maintainer of the gopis. Right? This Bharata here means, Prabhupada is translating here as sustainer, the provider. Is God providing you anything? That's a question to all of you. Is Krishna providing you anything? No, I said anything, not everything. Everything बोल के बहुत आसान हो जाता है, लेकिन anything, anything that God is providing you here. Anybody would like to answer? What has God provided you in your life? Yes, beta. He's provided you what? He's provided you life. Okay, okay, life. Anything else? Anything? Yes, beta. God provides you happiness, and sometimes He gives you misery also. Right? Okay, God gives you happiness. Okay, anything else God has provided you? He has. Sorry, man. Okay, very good. Krishna gives knowledge. Right? Anything else God has provided us?
Opportunity to serve.
Wonderful. Just an opportunity to serve. We are those wayward children who have come away from God. Why should He come to us again? Right? How many of you ever visit Mysore jail? You feel compassionate, poor people. Let me go there and have, visit there and, just go and talk to them, help them. Hey, Baba, jail, who will visit jail? Right? One person told me, oh, going to jail is bad. Your God is born in jail only. Kamsa's jail. Our God also is special. He takes birth in jail and yet he's glorious. That is God. Not just going to jail. He's born in jail. Right. Okay, so good. God gives us. I was saying, why I was saying this, you would not want to go. But Krishna comes to this dark world, this miserable world, this material world, which is compared to a jail, Durga. Why should He come here? He gives you an opportunity to serve. How glorious is Krishna? Anything else God has provided you? Krishna. Oh, Krishna is provided. Oh, we can forget God? No.
It is like whatever somebody is doing to you,
Uh-huh.
automatically once you realize that, you will forget that.
Okay, so anybody does good to you, then you forget. What do you mean to say? What do you mean? People do good to you and you forget?
If anybody hurts, then she's like, it's a boon that she can forget and accept it.
And
Okay. That way, forgetfulness. Forgetfulness. Next time, what should you say for forgetfulness? Oh, last life. If I would remember everything, I would not be able to live this life. Krishna makes us forget that. Hard disk. If you shake it, memory loss hota hai. Right? So heart disk, our heart disk. This Krishna's mercy. That now this life I'm able to live a new life. Go start a new life now. That's Krishna's mercy. Right? Anything else God has given you?
Mental peace.
Krishna has given you mental peace. Oh, if we chant Hare Krishna, yes, Krishna. God has given you freedom, a chance that you can free yourself, liberate yourself. Right? That's why His name is Mukunda. Mukti Pradata Sarvesham. That's why it's Mukunda. Okay, God gives you liberation. If you seek, then God can give you liberation. That's all.
Anything and everything.
How many of you work in software here?
Anything and everything.
Anything and everything. Wow. Too smart, huh? Too smart of you. Okay. Anything and everything can be hidden. That's chartered accountant. Okay, come to me. I will show you how to do it. Okay. How many of you are convinced the food that you get is provided by God? Yes or no? Sure. Paka. Sure. How many of you think, oh, I work in the software, I earn, and that's why I am eating? If you work in software and you develop software, that software has bugs, eat them. Right? That's what you produced. By your whole month's work, you produce software. You produced it, you eat it. No, you cannot eat it. You'll say, no, I give money to the farmer and the farmer gives me, grains. Some Handshake has happened. Go and ask the farmer. Because the farmer works so close to the nature, you will find God consciousness there. God, the farmer will say, oh, God is giving. What God is giving? I have a farm, some rice there, wheat here, some sour fruit, sweet fruit. I just put a seed. How that seed gets converted? Same water, same air, same sunshine. That seed grows into 1,000 more fruits. God is providing, the farmer will say. We cannot. So many factories and so many industries, can they produce food? They can process food, they cannot produce food. Where is the seed coming from? This God is providing, sustaining everything. So he is Bharta, he is Sakshi, right? Sakshi means, uh, if you go to Odisha, there is one temple by the name Sakshi Gopal. Gopal, the deity from Vrindavan came all the way to give Sakshi for his devotee. What is Sakshi? Aksha means Akshi, eyes. Meenakshi, Sakshi. Right? Sakshi means evidence. Prabhupada says Sakshi here means witness. God is witness to all our activities. Is this statement correct? God is witness to all our thoughts. Scary. God is witness to all our wishes. Everything. How is he witness? Either God through his representatives or God sitting in as Paramatma in your heart. He is witness to everything. Nothing is hidden. We may say, oh, nobody saw me doing this. God is watching everything. Nothing is hidden. Right? In Udupi, one time their Acharya, he called some devotees and said, I'm giving you a banana to each. Go and eat it at a place where nobody will see you. One devotee went into the altar and closed the curtain. Nobody will see me here. Right? Somebody went underwater, somebody went hiding behind the trees and this. One disciple came back. Hey, what happened? You didn't eat the banana? And this disciple said, oh, there was no place where I could not find any place where God is not seeing. God is Sakshi. All my lifetimes that I have done. And especially in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, right, other religions, they will say, oh, God is sitting with a chastising rod. All your sins, you'll have to pay the price for it. But Krishna in the Gita says, Tesham aham samudharta, mrityu samsagra sagra. Krishna is telling there, our Sridhar Swami says, Krishna is watching you through your struggles when you're practicing, performing bhakti. Krishna is watching. Oh, my devotees are doing so much. My devotees are paying such a heavy price. Right? While being in this world, to practice Krishna consciousness is not a joke. There is so much opposition. There is so much laziness within us, first place. Right? Opposition is less, laziness is more. Right? But all throughout, when you have put your sincere efforts, Krishna is witnessing and Krishna is recording. So there is one temple by the name Sakshi Gopal. There is another temple close to it in Odisha only, Odisha and Bengal border. This temple is called as Kirchor Gopinath. Right? You've heard of this temple? Actually, the original name of the temple is Gopinath, Lord Gopinath. This deity was worshipped in Ikshwaku dynasty. Right? But now this deity here, this temple is called Kirchor Gopinath. You have heard of Makhanjor? Kirchor, second homework for Radha Krishna Chandrapur. To tell you the whole pastime, why is the Lord called Kirchor? Right? Okay, now I have a puzzle for all of you. Okay? Ready? Everything belongs to God. Paka? Lock kiya jaye. Everything belongs to God. Does the kheer belong to him? Then why Kirchor? Think of it. Think of it. Everything belongs to God. Kheer also belongs to him. Pujari went in, offered kheer. He's kheer. Then why kheer chor? Why such a name to God? He's kheer chor. I'll tell you the science behind that name. When you offer something to God, that is bhoga. What comes out of the altar is prasad. What he bhoga belongs to God. Prasad belongs to what did he steal? That's why chor. Think of it. Because now it's not his property, it is devotee's property now. This guy took it away from his devotees. That's why here, chor. How could you take away prasad? Prasad belongs to devotees. So how he sustains, imagine. Even the whole pastime is so beautiful. Nivasaha, simple. Where is your nivas? If I ask you,
Inside the body.
give him a big hand. This is what I was looking for. He's saying my nivas is in this body. If you think a little, see how quickly we forget I am soul and not this body. For the soul, nivasa is this body. We may write the name of this, on the house we may write, names. Right? Nivasa. Whose nivasa? Ultimately, this body also, ultimately, whose nivasa here? Who is living here? Paramatma is living. And we are sanctioned. Okay, you can live here. You also, I give you also some place. So, nivasa. So, a house or a home is also known as gruha. Is that word in Kannada? Wow, so much Kannada I am learning today. Wow, right. So one griha is this griha, this body. This is also gruha for the soul. This gruha, earth, is also one graha. So Krishna has given us this graha, right? But Krishna here, what he means is, I am the nivasa, means I am the resting place for everything. This Yashoda saw, oh, whole creation, Vrindavan, I am also inside. This baby is also inside, and everything is in his mouth. Wow. Everything inside, everything outside. What's going on? That's the resting place. Another understanding is how our whole creation is within Mahavishnu. It is there inside, it is outside, there's nothing else. So that way, Krishna is Nivasaha. Sharanam, the ultimate resting place is God. Right? That is Sharanam. And the next word is Suhrit. Krishna is Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. His Suhrit means, now there are so many words in Sanskrit, for friend. Bandhu, Sakha, right? Suhrit. Suhrit is heart to heart friend. We all look for friendship, right? But many times the friendship of this world, either it does not sustain itself or the time finishes it. But Krishna's friendship, he's sitting in our heart as Paramatma, right? His friendship always remains with us. And he's Suhrit, his heart to heart friend. Krishna is always looking for our benefit, right? So that's why he's Suhrit. Okay. What does Sakha mean?
Who eats together?
सखा साथ में बैठ के खा सकते हैं जिसको अच्छा फ्रेंड है बट सुहृत इज हार्ट टू हार्ट फ्रेंड राइट कृष्ण इज सेइंग आई एम योर सुहृत I know what is beneficial to suhridam sarvabhutana. I can be a friend to one person, two persons, but Krishna is heart to heart friend for all living entities. Suhridam sarva. So suhrid, he's saying prabhavaha, pralayah, sthanam, nidhanam, bijam avyayam. I'll take this last word, bijam avyayam. Krishna says, I am the original seed. But especially every word is singular word, but for bijam he qualifies something in this verse. He's not any normal bija seed. He's bijam avyam. He's avyaya bija. The seed in this world, when we sow a seed, what happens? When the plant comes out from it, the seed is, if you dig the earth, there is no more seed, right? May transfer to many seeds, but where is the original? Where is that seed? But Krishna, how is that seed? Nobody should feel, oh, God created this world, it became overwhelming for him, he ran away. God created this world and he could not control it, right? And he gave up on it. Or God created the world and now he's dead. No, God is not dead, right? So one time, one young couple who would come for the programs in Pune, they came to me and said, Prabhuji, your life is in danger. I said, why? He said, my parent, the male out of the two, he said, my parents are here and they're furious. For what? He said, they want to meet you. And my mother especially is very, very angry at you. "Ma, what did I do? I don't even know them." Said, they think that you are the problem for they having become devotees. I said, ये भी बड़ा problem हो गया. I said, no problem, I'll meet them, call them. And the parents came to the temple. And the mother especially was so sharp. She was like so angry. Saying, you spoiled them. They sleep early. They wake up early. They chant. They are not doing anything what we had taught them. And now I asked her, have they become sane? Are they good people? Have they, whatever is the case, but they should not have become devotees. I said, what is your problem? Ultimately, she said, my problem is with Krishna. She told me, we have been worshippers of Durga. Our Kul Daivat is Durga. They are not worshipping Durga now. They are worshipping Krishna. So ultimately, okay. I had to, sometimes you have to, give जोर का झटका धीरे से. So I asked this lady, and you also will be shocked with that question. I asked her, please tell me, is Durga alive? You worship Durga? I just asked her, is Durga alive? And she was thinking for some good time. Durga alive. I worship Durga. Is Durga alive? Ultimately, I had to tell her, I'll give you the good news. She's still alive. I'll give you the good news. She's still alive. I knew it. I said, very good. You knew it, right? Now tell me, where does she live? Again, she went silent. I said, see, you're talking about Kuldaivat, we worship. You do not have faith that Durga is alive or not. Look at your faith. Where does she live? Even that you do not have faith that she's alive and she lives somewhere. I asked her, ask your children now. Have they been brainwashed? Or they perfectly in knowledge they are practicing everything? You ask questions to them. Have they been, are they just, kind of cajoled and kind of pulled into something, or they are being given knowledge with it? Ultimately, she went convinced. प्रभु जी अच्छे हैं, but still that ego, right? But after 2 months, I got a call from her. I have begun chanting, and that's what I wanted to tell you. Thank you. I said, very good, you have begun chanting. Very good, you have begun chanting Hare Krishna. Right? So many people, I began with Saint Francis, right? He wanted to, convert, but people were in knowledge. He had to ultimately use the weapons to kill. But Krishna gives us knowledge, right? And this knowledge sustains us in Krishna consciousness. We are not doing something, like in Hindi they say andhashraddha, blindly. There is no blind faith here. Srila Prabhupada would say, we discuss Bhagavad Gita and we open the forum. Anybody has any questions, please ask. Take it. Right? My parents would take me to some, program in Nagpur where I grew up, and this guru would come and would speak on Ramayana. Very beautifully he would speak. Very mesmerizing. Right? But I had some questions, and I asked my mother, can I meet the guru after the program and I can ask some questions? She said, no, Guru, you don't ask questions. You only listen. And I was like, Arjuna is asking question to Krishna. Whole Bhagavad Gita is question and answer. Why should you? And my mother asked me, after the program was over and everything was over, prasadam was over, everything was over, my mother asked, Tera question kya tha? What was your question? So my question was, whole 1.5 hours he would discuss Ramayana. And after the whole thing is over, when the time is for Aarti, the Aarti was तन मन धन से सदा सुखी हो भारत देश हमारा. My question was, they discussed Ramayana. Why not Lord Ram's Aarti? Why Bharat? You can worship Bharat Bhumi, or you want to worship, somebody wants to worship. But what is this connection here? And you know what was the gift I got from my mother? Rascal, whatever, anything comes to your mind, you'll ask or what? Good, I stopped you. She was like, I don't know, I had some good, genuine question I had. But that's not how we are practicing Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada would say, books are the basis for our movement. We have Srila Prabhupada books. We meet every Saturday like this. We discuss. We have questions we can ask. And we get convinced. And then we practice. And then people are amazed. These Hare Krishna people are Pakka people. Wherever they go, they have their feedback, they are chanting, and they are convinced, right? So this is the kind of practice that Krishna wants us to do. And that's why this entire ninth chapter, the most confidential knowledge, right? Thank you very much. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.